Hello everyone, I am Dr. Lauren Rooney and I'm a clinical psychologist for the Fierce Fantastic Females group. And today what we're talking about is how to turn a bad day around. So we all have this habit, because we're human beings, of waking up one day kind of in a bit of a rubbish mood and we decide to ourselves, I'm having a bad day. The problem with that is that we can often talk ourselves into making things worse. So there's this concept in psychology of self-fulfilling prophecies. And the idea is that if I were to wake up and decide I'm having a bad day, I might accidentally, completely unconsciously start to do things that make that true. So if I was having a bad day, I might stay in bed all day, I might not really feed myself very well, not give myself enough to drink. So then I'll start to feel run down physically. I'll start to feel really rubbish because I've had way too much time to overthink. And it ends up coming true, I'm having a bad day. Opposite to that, if we have a bad day and we realise we're having a bad day, we can do loads of really amazing tricks to get ourselves out of that bad day and to turn that bad day around, and that's what we're talking about today. So to do this, we have a Turning My Bad Day Around plan, and this is available on the files on the Fierce Fantastic Females group, and I'll talk you through what to do. So when we create these plans, these wellbeing plans, I always recommend that you sit down and do it when you're in a fairly good mood. And then over the coming weeks, maybe set up time every Sunday evening or sometime once a week over the next month to update it. Because you'll have had a couple of bad days in between and you'll start to learn things, you'll start to notice things that maybe you're doing that we can add to the plan. So our wellbeing plan, our Turning Our Bad Day Around plan, has 3 sections. Our first section is, what signs are there that I'm having a bad day? Then our second question is, what do I want to do which will actually make this bad day worse, which will be unhelpful? And our third box is, what do I need to do to turn my day around? So we'll talk through those sections. So I've also got a second page with this, which gives you an example of some things to put in each box, because I know it's really, really challenging to think about what to put in each box sometimes. So if we start with our first box, what signs tell me that it's a bad day? So have a think about all the things that you might do when you're having a bad day. So my examples are, you might notice that you have more horrible thoughts, you might notice that you're more irritable, so you're shouting at the children, at your partner, at your mum, other people a bit more. You might notice that it's so hard to concentrate, I'm feeling so tired, and lots of really physical symptoms, maybe like your heart might be racing or your brain might be racing. So have a think about all the things that tell you that this is a bad day. And you might want to go and ask people who are important to you. You know, you might want to go and ask a partner or a close friend, someone who sees you quite regularly, how do you know I'm having a bad day? And they might say things like, well, I noticed that on those days you maybe wear a certain pair of really comfy leggings that you love because you're obviously not feeling great. Or I noticed that maybe you rush out and you don't give yourself time to brush your hair. Or, you know, any kind of thing. They might say that I notice that you kind of have a certain look on your face that tells me you're having a bad day and it makes me worry about you. Some people outside of us can really see things that we can't see. So it can be quite helpful to get the views of other people too. And as I say, add to this. So when you're having a bad day, after you started writing this, you might want to start popping in things that you notice that you never realised before that are signs of you having a bad day, or that a bad day is starting to brew in the morning. Our second section, so what do I want to do which is actually unhelpful? So this is the traps that we all fall into. We all do things which in the short term make sense, but in the long term can make things worse. So for example, if I were to stay in bed all day long, that would be fine for one day. I mean, it wouldn't be great. I'd spend all day worrying, I'd probably look at too much social media and that's not good for my brain, but it's not the end of the world. If I noticed I was staying in bed for many, many, many days, then I might need to start thinking about that, because actually I'm going to start losing my friends, I might lose my job. I need to turn this around. This is a habit I've gone into which isn't helpful. And so if I start to notice that's something I do when I'm struggling, I might put down here as my way to turn the day around. I might say, just get out of bed, Lauren, and go and have breakfast today. Go and have a snack, go and have a bag of crisps, go and do anything out of bed. And if you just spend 10 minutes out of bed and go straight back to bed, that's okay, because you tried to do something. You might notice things like you maybe do less of the activities that you like, because it's really hard, it's a drain, it's hard to concentrate when you don't feel great, but actually that gives you a lot more time to be worrying and thinking and all these thoughts going through your mind which make you feel worse. We've got things like we start avoiding. We're really, really good at avoiding when we're feeling rubbish. So again, in the short term, avoiding my friends means I don't have the hassle, the pressure. It's hard to keep up with chats when we're not feeling great because our concentration goes. But actually, that might be the thing that we need to push ourselves to do to turn this day around. So pick up, might be about picking up the phone. I might bottle up my worries and not tell someone. I might not eat or drink. I might do those self-fulfilling prophecies that we talked about, which are really unhelpful. I might abuse alcohol. I might abuse drugs. There might be lots and lots of things that we do which in the short term we think help, but actually we know are actually unhelpful, that we need to try and prevent ourselves from doing today. So this second box is all the things that we just notice about ourselves that we're going to try not to fall into the traps of today because we want to turn this day around. So then in our last box, and this is the biggest box because we're going to have lots of stuff here, we write down, what do I need to do to turn my day around today? So for me, as I say, it might be just get out of bed and have a snack. It might be put the kettle on and have a cup of tea. It could be go and do your hobby, go and put your favourite film on that makes you feel better, go and have a shower, go and have a bath. It can be really, really simple things that might just help turn your day around. But we might also have go for a walk, call a family member. We might have go and sit in the window and watch the birds, go to the gym, do some yoga, do some mindfulness, go and get a food shop if you want to order it online, if you want to actually go out to the shop and get that food. Listen to an audiobook, listen to a podcast. When we're having a bad day and our concentration is very poor, often listening to things is a lot easier than reading things. So if you're somebody who really enjoys reading and you get frustrated when you're having a bad day because you just can't concentrate, then listening to something's often easier. Takes a lot less pressure in the brain, a lot less processes, because when you're reading, you're kind of turning squiggles into noises, you're saying those noises out loud in your head, and then you have to listen to those noises and interpret what's going on. It's lots and lots and lots of processes in the brain, so it's very normal to find it hard to read when you're having a bad day. Whereas listening to something, it cuts out the majority of those processes. You're just listening and you're interested in what's going on. So listening to something can be really helpful. You might read some more of a book if you're reading. You might go and just do 10 minutes in the garden, anything at all that might turn your day around. And I try to have a rule for myself that just do 10 minutes of something. So if I don't feel like doing something at all, but I know it'll be good for me, I just go for 10 minutes and set a timer for that. And if after those 10 minutes, actually I'm really enjoying this, let's carry on doing this, great, carry on. That's something brilliant that you found. But if after those 10 minutes you're still really not feeling it, you can't be bothered, at least you've tried. And I always apply this to exercise. I never want to go. I always think I'm going to hate it. So I think I'm just going to turn up at the gym. I'm just going to turn up at whatever exercise I'm doing, try it for 10 minutes, and if I hate it, I'll just go home. Sometimes you kind of get into stuff and it can be really helpful. So that's my personal rule. You might have play with a pet, ring somebody, whatever it is that you have that helps you turn that bad day around. And the brilliant thing about our plans is that they can change. So if you put stuff in, you give it a go and actually think, oh, that didn't work for me, cross it out and put something else in there. Keep revisiting these plans again and again and again and make them really personal for you. Make them work for you. And your plan won't work for other people. It has to be yours. We all have different values. We all have different goals. We've all got different things that make us feel better. And if I gave you my plan, it might say, go and do some knitting and go to yoga, and you might go, oh God, I don't want to do that. Then I might not want to do your plan, and that's completely normal. That's how it should be. We should have our own individual plans that really suit us. It's always easier to write these on a good day because we've just got more oomph, we've got more willing to do things when we're having a good day, and that's completely normal. And you might look at it on a bad day and go, God, what was she on about? She's saying do this, do that, do this. She doesn't know me on a bad day. But trust Good Day You. Good Day You does have your best intentions at heart. So if Good Day You writes to do certain things on your list, give them a go. And again, just do it for 10 minutes. And if it doesn't work, Good Day You will hear about that later when you're feeling better and you come to revisit this plan. Now I keep my plan on the fridge. So for me, I get up in the morning, I open the fridge door and it catches my eye as I'm opening the door, and I'll go, oh yeah, the signs are here that it's a bad day. And I'll go, okay, this is what I need to do to turn this day around. You might want to keep yours by your bedside table. You might want to keep yours as a photograph on your phone, the background of your phone, the screensaver of your phone, to just really remind you. But have it somewhere that's quite prominent. I've had people who laminate theirs and put it on the coffee table, so you put your cup of coffee on it at lunchtime. Put it somewhere where it's important to you, because that's what this is for. And I've got it as a PDF, which I find easier to print and write on. And there's also a copy as a Word document, so you can type on it if you'd like a typed version and keep it on your phone. But make sure it's not just somewhere hidden away in a drawer, kind of saved on your phone, but you never look at it. Have it somewhere prominent. Have it somewhere that's really important to you, and check on it as often as you can, because that can be a really helpful prompt to just turn the day around. Because I know bad day, most of us, doesn't even think to look at this if it's hidden away. It needs to be thrust in our face by good day us. And that's, again, completely normal. So that's our plan to turn a bad day around. In the comments, let me know what things you might put in your turning a day around plan, what things work for you, and that might help other people who are writing their plans to give them ideas. And yeah, let me know how it works for you. I'm really, really curious. I find this is a really powerful tool if you have bad days. And once you've done this a few times and you have that sense of, actually, I have control over my brain and I have control over a bad day, and I can make small improvements, or even some days really big improvements, to turn my day around. That's so powerful. That's so amazing to know that we have more control and power than maybe we give ourselves credit for. So yeah, have a go, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. I'm going to start thinking about some more kind of short, practical skills that you can do at home to change your mindset, to change your mood, and to give you some support that you can do for yourself at home. So it's been lovely talking to you. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you really soon. Take care.